Hey guys, Brian and Aaron here from 5 to Go. We are not in our house or an RV or the studio or anywhere else that you've seen before. We are out on a date night right now at Cheyenne Mountain State Park. We're doing a walk, a hike, and we're just out here enjoying this beautiful, just absolutely beautiful weather.
Awesome.
But that's not why you clicked on this video. We're talking about motorhomes and honestly, whether or not they're death traps. So we've been shopping for motorhomes for about a month now, maybe 2 months. We sold our RV a month ago yesterday.
Yep.
We had a travel trailer. But now that we've been looking at drivables, namely Class A's and Class C's, we've been a lot more concerned about safety because we have 3 young kids, then 2 of them are in car seats. And we just, as we've been shopping for these motorhomes and putting these videos out that you guys have responded really well to, thank you so much for watching. As we've been putting these videos out, we've been getting a lot of comments and been told a lot of things outside of comments about safety of motorhomes, things to look for, things to avoid, stuff like that. So I have started doing some research about motorhome safety, and I haven't shared any of this with Aaron yet. We thought it would be kind of fun where I just kind of grab all this info and then just dump it on her.
Dump it on me.
And you guys all at the same time, and then we can have a discussion about what I have found out. Why are we more worried about safety now than we were before? Well, before we were in a truck and we were towing a trailer, and it really didn't matter what the safety standards were for the trailer because you're not riding in the trailer. Yeah, if you get in an accident, you have, an extra 10, 11,000 pounds behind you that can make things go very poorly. But by and large, the truck has all the safety standards. It has safety glass, it has seat belts, it has airbags, it has rollover stuff. Like, it has everything you would expect in a normal vehicle in terms of safety. Motorhomes, all motorhomes, are only required to have one thing under federal law, and that is seat belts in the front. And that's it.
What about all the other people in the car?
There are no requirements for the other people in the vehicle.
Okay. So kids don't have to be in car seats?
That depends on state law.
Our kids will be in car seats.
Yes, our kids will be in car seats. However, car seats should not be mounted sideways. So long couches that are sideways, the lap belts that go sideways, car seats are not tested in sideways installation.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and also the seat belts in the rest of the coach aren't necessarily anchored to the frame or anything metal like they are in a car. RVs don't have the latch system. They don't have to have anchors, like the tether anchors. Right. And even in the dinettes that have lap belts, sometimes those are just bolted to the wood frame of the dinette. Yeah.
That does not seem safe.
Yeah, that's not ideal. Let's separate things real quick. Let's talk about Class A's. And then we'll talk about Class C's. And then we'll talk about things that are shared between both of them, like the seatbelt thing. So, Class A's are built 100% by the RV manufacturer. So they don't come into the factory as like a cab and chassis and then they add all the other stuff. Like, it comes in as just the frame with an engine on it, and they build everything from the floor up.
And we've seen those like at RV shows. What those look like.
Yeah, and they look awesome. They look really cool. The problem is the RV manufacturers are building these things to be lightweight or cheap or any other number of motivations other than safety standards, because there aren't any safety standards. So a lot of these frames are just built out of wood, and if you have a frontal impact with just a wood box around you, things are going to break and bend and shatter and fall apart and
crumple.
Yeah, so I found some videos. Sweden is one of the only countries in the world that is trying to enact motorhome safety standards, and there is a company over there that crashes motorhomes. That's scary. So let me put a couple of those in right here. So as you can see, there are no crumple zones. The it's just not built for impact.
Oh my gosh, those kids just like went everywhere and were just like...
Yes, and that's another...
lost them in it.
That's another big issue with... Class Cs have this issue as well because they're open-ish on the inside, but Class As especially that are like kind of big and wide open, anything that's not bolted down, including like the dinette tabletop, just goes. So if something stops the motorhome, everything inside keeps going. Now, one advantage you have is you're in a large, heavy vehicle. So if you hit a car,
you're going to win.
You're probably going to win. But if you run into a building or a guardrail or a large vehicle like a bus or a dump truck or something that's big that will stop you very quickly, everything inside is coming forward and everything in the front is just going to crash inwards. So that's kind of scary. Another thing is we've kind of really enjoyed the RV models that have super slides.
Yeah, because it just opens everything up.
Yeah, so basically one wall slides all the way out, and that gives you a ton of room on the inside.
Yeah.
What I wasn't thinking about is you have this box, and you're basically removing all structural elements from one side of it. So there's no vertical bars, there's no framing, there's no anything that contributes to the rigidity of this box that you're in, because the whole thing moves out. And also, in an accident, if you have a high-speed accident or a rollover, that slide moves independently from the rest of the coach. So it can move forward or backwards or fall out the side, fall upwards if you roll it. Like it's going to be moving around a lot. And sometimes couches and dinettes are in those slides.
Where you're sitting.
While
you're driving.
With a seatbelt on, thinking you're safe.
Holy moly.
Yeah, it's not great. So Class A's might be off the list. But we'll talk about what we're going to start looking at with this new information at the end of this video. One last thing about the big Class A's is, yeah, they're big and heavy, and that works in your advantage in an impact. It does not work in your advantage for maneuverability and for braking. So if you have an RV that weighs, 22,000 pounds and you're going 60 miles an hour down the highway and all of a sudden someone cuts you off, there's only so much you can do.
Right.
Or if all of a sudden you're coming around a corner and there's some kind of stoppage, like there's an accident or an animal on the road or whatever, your braking distance is severely reduced. Now, this is going to matter a lot more on how you drive.
Right.
Let's talk about Class C's real quick. Class C's are very different. As you know, it is a van front end.
Okay.
So basically you have the cab of the van, and then you have this exposed rest of the vehicle, the chassis. That gets delivered to the motorhome manufacturers. Remember when we were in Indiana, we drove by Jayco, and there were just tons and tons and tons of these just cabs and skeletons. That unit has to go through all those same safety standards because it is a Ford van front end or a Dodge van front end or a Mercedes van front end.
Okay.
So it has all of the safety stuff. So it has airbags.
I was going to say, it has airbags?
Yep, it has airbags. It has the proper windshield glass. It has the proper side glass. It has side airbags, the newer ones.
Some type of steel reinforcing?
Well, they have crumple zones.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know, but when like a van or a truck is in a frontal impact, the way that they're manufactured is the engine drops. And the frame absorbs the impact before it gets into the cabin. However, none of those standards necessarily have to translate to the rest of the RV.
I was all excited there for a second.
Right? Yeah. So it's better than a Class A because you have all that front end protection.
Okay.
Also, Class C's are lower. The center of gravity is much lower.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they are less likely to have wind deflection be an issue. And they are also less likely to get into a rollover incident if you have to turn quickly or slide sideways or hit something sideways. So that lower center of gravity is a good thing. You are going to have the same issues with interior things that can move around.
And they have the sideways couches that have the seatbelts in them.
You have the same seatbelt issue with sideways couches. A lot of the dinettes, sometimes one side of the dinette, if you remember in our trailer, it was big empty storage space under the dinettes. A lot of times in Class C's and Class A's, they'll put like a freshwater tank or something else underneath one of the dinettes. So just because there's seating there doesn't mean there's a seatbelt. And just because there's a seatbelt there It doesn't mean that it's connected to metal.
Or we've seen in some of them, though, you can't even fit some of the car seats in the dinette because we have some bulky car seats. If Tara's sitting on the couch, because you said we can't put the car seats on the couch, like, what happens to her?
I mean, you can put the car seats on the couch.
But they're not rated to go sideways.
They're not rated for sideways protection.
But then how does that even work if she's sitting on that sideway couch with just, like, how bodies move side to side rather than front to front? I didn't even think about that.
It's not going to be comfortable.
Oh, gosh.
But if you think about it, the primary purpose of a seatbelt is to keep you inside the vehicle in the case of an accident.
Right.
And to minimize you banging into other things.
Yeah, but other things banging into you.
Right. One of the issues with motorhomes as well is they are only ever lap belts.
Right.
You know, you're not going to have, you know, in the front seats, you're going to have the normal, you know, shoulder and lap belt. But in a dinette or a booth,
it's just the lap
or
belt.
Anywhere else, you're just going to have a lap belt. You're never going to have a latch tether or any kind of anchoring. No. I don't know if you could add them.
But what would you tether them to? Is there something that is?
It depends on the model, like what you can get to down below or behind or whatever. That all depends.
Y'all have any tips?
Yeah.
Have you done this? Have you been afraid of this? Like, this is freaking me out a little bit. I want my babies to be safe.
Yeah. So
do they just ride in the front and we ride?
It's funny. I have seen some where a lot of people say that, you know, the front passenger seat, if you can disable the airbag, is probably the safest place for a car seat. But that's if you only have one kid. We have 2 kids in car seats.
2 kids in car seats. And another one that isn't in car seat, but I want her to be safe too.
Right, yeah. So what other things do Class C's and Class A's share in terms of lack of safety? Like we touched on earlier, everything inside can become a projectile in a sudden stop or a rollover. So,
well, I mean, we are like old hat at packing things down so it doesn't roll around when we're traveling in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I know it's a little different.
It's different. Because if the trailer got in an accident and the cabinets popped open and things flew out,
we wouldn't be in there.
I mean, it sucks that our stuff would break, but, you know, it's not going to hit a person.
Yeah.
The problem with motorhomes is those silly little, like, capture latches and stuff that we've seen on a lot of them. If you have anything inside that hits the back of that door with any amount of force, it's going to spring open. So a lot of people keep all the heavy stuff down low.
Right.
It makes sense. Keep the light stuff up top. If your cabinets are only up top, I might just have to find some other way to, like, permanently, not permanently, but, you know, more securely, whether it's like eye hooks or like little bolts on the cabinet doors, just some way to make sure that there's a positive lock that requires some kind of activation from the outside. Another thing I would do is any dinette table.
Just take it out.
You have to take it out, secure it somewhere, strap it down. Because it would be nice. What you were about to say.
That's one of the selling points that we have. That they can be doing things and have a table in front of them
while you're driving. But unless that table is, you know, very securely in that spot,
it just becomes
it's a
smushing thing.
Yeah. Yep. So I've seen some people will have, you know, the car seats front and back on the dinette, and they'll take the tabletop out and, you know, strap it down somewhere or put it in another room.
I was excited about the table.
Yeah. And then also with Class C's, of course, slides.
Yeah.
Any slides are going to compromise the structure of the entire
and we have looked at some that don't have any slides.
Yep.
They are tight.
Yep. They are.
But
yeah. So now that we've talked through all of that scary, horrible, terrible information, we're going to discuss all of this on the way back to the van, and then we're going to get back with you and share what we've figured out. We're going to kind of modify what we're looking at, how we're looking at it, the features we're looking at, and some of the new things we're going to have to keep in mind.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Let's go.
So that didn't require too much discussion.
No.
We're only about halfway back to the van now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're not going to look at Class A's anymore.
Nope.
Let me just put the disclaimer on there that if we see some on the lot and we want to poke our heads into them,
we will go in and look at them. We love to look at RVs.
We love looking at RVs.
And you guys love coming with us, so.
But they're no longer an option for us for safety reasons.
And they were kind of, not really what we were looking for. We were just kind of like, oh, well, we could afford these, or
yeah,
these kind of work for us.
We've definitely seen some older ones that are in our price range.
Yeah, and so, but they were kind of on the periphery of what we were looking at.
Yeah.
We were really focusing on,
because a lot of the older ones, they don't have the cab over.
Right.
They don't have that extra the sleeping space. So that really, it's such a good use of space in a Class C. So no more Class A's. No. We're only looking at Class C's. And Class B's are never going to have enough beds.
No. Brian and I'll get one of those when all the kids are gone and never want to come camping with us again.
Yeah, that sounds good. So the next thing we're going to really focus on is seatbelts. Side-facing seatbelts aren't going to be good enough.
Nope.
We're going to have at least 3 seatbelts that face forward or backwards so we can properly secure our children. Or even if it's not proper, like as best as you could do in a motorhome.
I like proper.
Proper, yeah, but it's not necessarily going to have tethers, and like we're definitely going to look and see where these seatbelts are attached to. We can always add more anchors or change where existing anchors are connected to.
Right.
So that's an option. That's really going to depend heavily on how that rig is manufactured, though. Another thing that we're really going to focus on is where all the storage is and if we can secure it properly. If the dinette table can be removed and strapped down or secured in some other way, that's even better.
Yes.
Being able to lock all the cabinets, I might have to add something so I can strap them closed, but that's really no big deal.
Right.
We don't want to be fearmongers.
but we do like to be safe.
Yeah, these are important things to look at, and without there being any federal standards or even standards within the industry for the safety and the security of the occupants of these motorhomes, we're going to have to do what we can to feel safe putting our children in this box going 60 miles an hour down the road.
Right. And only 60 miles an hour because we don't drive fast in motorhomes.
I have seen a number of people that say, just if you're going to be bringing a car along anyway, just put your kids in the car and drive it. But we may as well.
The whole purpose.
Yeah, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of why we want to give a motorhome a try.
Right.
So thank you guys for watching.
Hopefully, please give us all the tips.
Yes, if you have any more information, if there are brands that are safer than others or something we may have missed, please let us know.
Tell us in the comments. You can check us out on Facebook and send us a direct message, on Instagram, whatever. We want to hear all of your tips because we need all the help.
Yeah, and hopefully there will be a follow-up to this video with all of the tips that you guys share with us.
Yes, that'd be great.
So thank you again for watching. We will see you all in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.